Good morning, community group leaders. I hope that you're doing well. This is Chris. I'm just sitting here in my basement. I'm listening to a little Irish music and just praying for you and your groups today. And hope that you're all doing well. I know these are interesting times, and so while we're not able to meet together in person, I wanted to encourage you to continue to be creative and how you get together and grow together and learn together. So here's a quick, or maybe not so quick, tutorial on how to create a study that you can do with your group through Right Now Media. If you, as a group leader, don't have access to Right Now Media, send me an email. I'll send you an invitation. We'll get you set up with that. It's a great resource, tons of good information and opportunities to study individually or as groups. And if any member of your group doesn't have Right Now Media, send me their email address and I'll also get an invitation out to them. This is a resource that the church provides to everyone that's connected with us, and so we'd love to share it with you. Today we're going to create a post, and so the first thing that you need to do is log into your Right Now Media account, and I'm going to walk through this step by step. But if after you watch the video, if you have questions, give me a call or send me a text message. I'll walk you through it again or even help you set up a study. It's not too complicated, but can be a little bit confusing the first time or two through. So if you go up here to the top right hand corner, you'll see my profile and select that. And then down in the menu, you'll want to select Create Post. It's going to pull up a screen where you can start building your study. And so the first thing you want to do is give your study a title. So you click in this box up at the top. You can type in whatever you want this to be. I'm just going to use a generic one for this purpose, but you can name it whatever you want to. And then the next box, you can give your group a little description of what you're hoping to accomplish or whatever information you want them to know. So we'll just put something generic in here too. And bear with my typing skills. I'm not terrible, but not super proficient either. This next box is a page break, so you can add page breaks if you want to. This study that we're creating as a sample is going to be pretty short, so I'm not going to do that here, but you can certainly do that and give it a title that has different themes on each page. Over in the menu on the left, you'll find all kinds of different elements that you can add into your study, and so you'll see those as you expand the menus. And I'm going to start with a video, so you just click and drag the element into your post and it'll drop it, and it's going to give you some more instructions and guidance of what to do. So for instance, with your group, if you wanted to have everybody watch Sunday's sermon again and then create some questions as follow-up for them, you could go into this box and you can search for or you'd have to go and find the URL and drag it in here, but you could go to YouTube or Vimeo on the Rocky Fork pages, grab the link to the sermon and drop it in here, and it'll embed that sermon video into your study. But I'm actually going to create this one with a Right Now Media video that I already looked at earlier, so I'm just going to search for it. And you'll want to, preview videos, of course, before you share them, but feel free to watch them, look through them, and then when you find one that you like, then you can use this process to create your study. So this part one video is what I'm going to select. I'm going to insert it into the post, and you'll see that it pops up. And now I'm going to go over here, and I want to start with a short question. A short response question. So you drag that element into your post, and then you just click in the box and say, what is the purpose of the book of John? And then they'll have a chance to respond in the study when they receive that. And I'm going to put a long response question down here and say something like, what does it look like to have life in Christ? This was maybe everyday examples. This was a quote that was used in the video too, but you can watch the video from here if you want to stop it and then figure out your questions. Hopefully you've kind of previewed it, maybe jotted some things down ahead of time. And any of these elements, if you want to change the order of them, you can click them here in this gray box and drag them into place and move them around. So if you get something that's not in the order that you want it to be, you can drag those back and forth. But once we have all the elements in place that we want to, and again, I'm keeping this pretty short, and that's probably my encouragement as you start this out with your groups. But once you have the elements in place, then you go up here to the top left-hand corner and save your post. Now from this point, when it's saved, you can go ahead and send the post or view the post. You can also go back into your My Profile and go to Trainings and Resources and find these same options. I'm going to go ahead and do that just to show you what that looks like, but you can send from here or view the post from here as well. So I'm going to go back into Trainings and Resources. After you have created a post, you will see that it shows up here, and I created one earlier as a test run for doing this. Now before I share the post, I can go back in and edit it. I can add more elements, add more videos, take things away, whatever I want to do. And I can take some time here to view it, and I'm going to actually select that here in just a moment. Just so you can see what it looks like when your group opens it. This is the view option, and this is what they're going to see, and this is where they could go in and start working on this. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to start that yet, but they can go in and click and start answering questions and watch the video and all those types of things. So I'm going to go back in to my Trainings and Resources, back where this was at, and I'm going to send this post. And it's going to pull up a box like this, and this is where you can type in your group's email addresses, wherever you want that to go to. I don't know if you'll be able to see the contacts list. That may be an administrator thing that I have access to, but you'll be able to type in these emails, and I would suggest that you start with yourself to run kind of a test to make sure that it comes through. But after you've typed in an email, come down here to the bottom and hit send, and you're going to see that it says the content was successfully sent. Now when we start to look at where we're at, if we view this, we can go in and we could start to answer questions. And we can finish and save the post. You'll see that it's completed, basically meaning that I've went through and done everything, though I really haven't, just for the purpose of showing you this exercise. But now that post has been completed by the user. If you go back into your trainings and responses, you'll be able to see a few things that are helpful. You can first want to notice that now you can no longer edit your post because it's been started by somebody. So if you forgot something or want to make a modification, you have the option of copying the post. You can create a new one. That's just something that you'll learn through trial and error. But if you look down here in this corner, you're going to see we're right now looking at the created posts. But if you go to sent, it's going to give you a few other resources that I think are helpful. Now you see your posts that you've created, and you can still send them, you can view them, you can see what responses just by clicking on this are, and you can see that I answered questions, right? So this would be your opportunity to go through and see what people are saying. You can also go in and see who are the recipients, who have you sent this to already. And it also tells you when did they start it and complete it. So sometimes people will click on it, be looking at it, and they won't complete it. And you can do some other things with that, maybe send them a text message or prompt them in some other way to get started. So there's just a lot of different things that you can do in here. I hope that this is a helpful resource to you. Um, One other quick thing, when you send the email, this is what your group leader or your groups are going to see come through to them. And so they're going to have an opportunity to just click right on the post, and it's going to take them right into where they need to be. They'll have to log into Right Now Media. And sorry, my internet's slowing down here for a second, but it should take them right to the post. Oops. Uh, that's right. Here's a This is my failure. I actually deleted this post earlier. I was just running a test email, so sorry about that. You'll have to forgive me. But anyway, I think you get the point. And if you have any questions, let me know. Love you all. I'm going to continue to pray for you, and hope that you'll find lots of creative ways to stay connected with your groups.